Are you tired of your car sounding boring and bland like this? Well, don't you worry, because I got exactly the solution for you. So you can make cars that sound more like this. Hello, what is up? And today I'm back with another tutorial video, and I'm really excited to make this one because I haven't made one in quite a while. And in this video I'll be showing you how to make your car sound a lot better with 4 different methods. So yeah, let's get started with the video. Also, please watch till the end because I can show you how to make stuff like this. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to method number 1. Now, the easiest way to add custom engine sounds is just to use the default BeamNG sounds. So, if you go in the Art Sound Blends folder in the Game Engine zip file in your BeamNG install, you find all of these sound files, and you can just select one of them. So, if I see line 4_3 exhaust, you just select that, copy it and paste it in here. I'm going to do so for the engine as well. You can then have a listen to it in game. Sounds pretty cool, I would say. But it doesn't stop there. If you press F11, it will open the world editor. And if you go to Window, and then Audio, and then Engine Sound Debug, you get this neat little window here. And in here, you can adjust the way engine sounds. And just by messing around with this, it changes the sound dynamically. And another way to change engine sounds is just to edit the sound files in not too complex, just simple EQ, maybe a bit of distortion, and yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So I would recommend a sound editing program like Audacity. Then you just grab all of your sound files of your car that you're going to edit, and then you just drag it in there. And your sounds will be listed all like this, so you can have a listen to them. If you want to edit the sounds, you can click on Effect, and then you can change all kinds of stuff like the filter curve EQ. If we flatten this, we can adjust it a bit more than the default BeamNG EQ lets you. So instead of just like 2 different spikes, you can have like a couple of different ones, so you can listen to them more dynamically. So if I want this and this, I can press OK and play it and compare it. You can also do different stuff like the distortion. Odyssey has a couple of distortions, but the one I find the most interesting is the even harmonics one. Because listen to how much this changes. Let me disable this. And now if I enable it, that's quite a difference. So yeah, I just pull up all the even harmonics all the way up, press space and enter. Shift space, I can just keep it looping. I can change it like that. This is a different distortions. And if you're happy with your change, you can give it a bit of a listen in here. You can also change the pitch of your sound, although I do not really recommend this by just changing the pitch like this. I have a better way to change pitch, if you actually want to change pitch. But you still can change pitch, although it's not really the best way to do that. So this is what it sounds like now, compared to before. Yeah. Anyway, if you're happy with this, just make it so all of them can be played. So untick solo. Then you want to export, and then export multiple. And then you just want to paste in your folder and put the format to WAV and have override files turn on. So you just press export. Okay. Going to BeamNG and then just reload the car. And of course you can always mix in an intake sound with it. Another way to change the engine sounds is to properly pitch shift the sound. And by that I mean changing the pitch of your sounds and then changing the RPM accordingly. And I will be showing you how to do that. So, as a comparison, this is what it sounds before. Pretty grunty. But let's say I want this to be a bit lower pitched. But I don't want the engine harmonic to change that much. So I have a solution for that, more or less, and it's a bit tricky to do, but it works. So for this, first of all, you're going to have to delete sound files that you don't think you're going to need as much. So since the engine does about 8,000, I'm going to delete these, and let's say do steps in 1,000 RPM. So I'll just delete that, because we're going to be changing stuff individually. That and that, and this is fine. So we got these sounds, and now I want to pitch these down. So now we'll show you how to do that. So you want to open sound editing program, and then you're going to want to drag and drop these. And now here's where the trickier part comes. Now you want to go into effect and then change pitch, and you want to make sure that you have high quality stretching off, because that messes with the sound a bit in a not very good way. So what you want to go look is the semitones, and depending where you go, 12 we will be multiplying the RPM by 2, or negative 12 will be dividing the RPM by 2. So if we do, let's say we want to pitch it down to negative 6 semitones. So if we apply that real quick, and then let's have a preview of this one. Okay. And what was it before? Now, so let's reapply that, and let's grab our calculator. So let's see, 4073 divided by 1.5 since it's 6 semitones. Then we get this RPM, and I would just round it wherever the closest number is, so that seems to be this. And it doesn't really matter all too much, although, yeah. But I think this is a little too low pitched though, so I'm going to do -3 semitones instead. And there's our next RPM value. So okay, I think this is pretty good. Now when you're done, you want to export multiple. You want to override existing files. Now the annoying part is renaming these, because we need to keep calculating. So 1052 divided by 1.25. So this is our RPM. Let's round that up actually. 842. Okay, I have set up all these sounds. Now what I'm going to do actually, we'll be using my tool for engine sounds just to make stuff a bit easier. So just click download, I'll link it in the description. And you want to press keep here. Then you just want to open it and then press more info and run it anyway, because Windows doesn't know what this is. And then we will just grab this and put this in the sound folder and put our output folder just in this. And let's just copy this for the blend name. An online contains P, and then just create a blend. We can view the folder, check the blends file if it updated correctly, and yes, it did. That's nice. Now we can just close this and this and go in here and then just press Ctrl R to reload the sound. Now, this is the part that you've been waiting for. How to sample sounds from real life cars from just a YouTube video. So now you're just going to want to look for a video on YouTube, or you could even just record your own sounds. But this is how we will sample them. So if you listen to this video, probably it would be a dyno run or like a proper exhaust mount, because those have like the best rev ranges. And now we can just open up Audacity, and you don't have to do it this way, but I like to do this way, and this is to change Windows, change from MME to Windows WAS API over here, and then change the microphone to be your headphones or speakers, and then in bracket it says loopback, so you just want to press that. That way it records whatever your desktop is showing. So what we will now do is start recording samples. So idles I would definitely just like get from anywhere, honestly. This will do, so let's record this for the idle. That's good. Now we will just trim this, and then we press Shift space to have it looping. For a bit smoother transition, we can just cut out the first section and then paste it by pressing Ctrl X and Ctrl V. Can go into effect and press crossfade clip, so then it fades. And now it loops nicely. So now we can just name this, let's say, I'm not sure when the LFA out is, we can call this 900. Now we want to add a new stereo track and press solo on here, otherwise it will catch the sound from this track. And now let's start recording the dyno. would recommend the section to be about 2 seconds, so we can just cut that. And now I have a section. You hear a bit of that whiny sound, which is a bit annoying, but we can kind of remove it with the filter curvy Q. Like, you have to kind of be careful how you do it. So if I think his whine sound would be around this frequency. It's pretty peaky whine, so... Yeah, okay, that didn't work, but okay. So now what we're going to want to do is we want to stretch the pitch a long time to be lower, so the tone stays the same. Now, how we will do this, well, you can do this in Audacity, but it doesn't really work that well, because you can't interact with the pitch. Adobe Audition can, though, but for this, I'll just be using Fmod Studio, because I find that pretty easy, since it's free. So if we put a new project, and we will have to export, so I'll just guess what this RPM range is. I'm not pretty sure, so I'll just put 3000. Then I'll just export as WAV. Okay, now we're going to go into here, and we will just go to Assets, and then just drag this in. Go to Events and press New Event, then 2D timeline. We don't need to have 3D. Then you have this right here. So now we can just drag our asset into this. Sounds pretty good. Now we can right click this and press Add Loop Region. So it loops between here. Now we're going to right click on pitch and press add automation. So we kind of keep the first part 0 semitones, and then we're going to drop this. So now we're going to keep listening to this. I think that's pretty good. So now I can just extend this so I can record it back into Audacity. We can delete this since we don't need it anymore. So we just press record. Just use this right here and record it. Recorded that. And now we cut this out. And the beginning part. Now this doesn't really sound right when you just loop like this, so what we actually do as a trick, we can just copy paste this, and we don't crossfade this, but rather we reverse it. So it has a completely seamless loop. Now we don't do this with the idle, because idles usually have pops and crackles in them, and pops and crackles, as you can see with these, if you reverse them, it's going to sound pretty strange, but we're just regular RPM ranges. Most of the time it actually works pretty well if you just reverse the sound. Now this is a bit strange in this section, so we can just quickly crossfade this. Now you're not going to really notice this as much when you're revving your engine, especially at lower RPMs, since you're mostly going to be at high RPMs, I'm assuming. But yeah, you can do all kinds of effects with this if you need to, but yeah, that's pretty much how you add an RPM range. Now, I have got all the sound samples, and I exported all of them by pressing export multiple. And now we are going to give a preview of this, because we need to know more or less what the RPM ranges are. You can go into automation and compare the sound to the V10 or whatever sound you're trying to do in automation. So let's stop this real quick, and let's say I've listened to the 6000 RPM I've recorded. Let's see if it matches. seems I was about off by 800 RPM, so yeah, this is not 600 but rather 5200. But yeah, this is one way you could do this, or you could go into Fmod, if you have it, add a parameter sheet, press a new parameter, just name it RPM, make the range from 0, and then just make it 12,000 or whatever. And I'll just add the sounds into here, and I'll just set it up real quick. Then you're going to want to select everything, press loop on, and then add modulation and then auto pitch. Then you want to select this and just put this to the pitch you want. Okay, so I set it all up now. So there, that sounds pretty cool, I would say. Now, the only thing we're left is we need to rename this properly. This idle pitch is not properly, but that doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, now we're going to need to rename these files. So 3000 is actually 3200. Let's see, 5000 is actually 4300. That's 5200. Actually, no, 5000 even. And yeah, now that is all the... That's all the onload sounds. Also, I forgot to increase the volume of this. Well, actually, hold on. First you want to go here. You're going to want to duplicate these. So if we go to here, just copy this, add new stereo track. So let's give this a name so we say this is the onload. So let's just put O there. Okay, now that everything's duplicated, there's actually this filter that is really useful. So if I will just showcase this pretty simply, so if I just make one load, just hold on a second. So yeah, so let's see what I use. So if we just at 0 load, this is what the filter curve looks like. So if we select all of this, and here I have the filter curve key. So if I flatten this, this is about 1000 hertz. So let's just click this and this. Move this towards here and see how many decibels. About 12. So we do this. Now, if we move this all the way down to, I think this is 1000 hertz, all the way down to -24, so just smoothing that out a bit. Yeah, that looks good. And now just move this and this. And that curve looks pretty similar, so if you now press OK and have a listen. Now, this doesn't sound perfect for offload sounds, but I'd rather have this than have just the same onload and offload sound. We only use the onload sounds mostly because, well, if you can't find good offload sounds, well then go ahead, of course, record those. But in most cases, it's pretty hard to do that. So I just reuse the onload sound and just EQ'd it. And then it's good. Now we have this. Oh, the idle, might want to tune that a bit, so grab the filter curve EQ, you can maybe make it sound a bit deeper, just not exactly, but like, this is just personal preference, so if we just get rid of a bit of that noise that we have. I don't know. Okay, now our sounds are ready, so we select all of this and press export multiple. Just put this in new folder, sounds ready, I don't know. And then we'll select a folder and then export it and then done. Now what we're going to want to do is open my tool again, and we're going to put the sound folder in here, then the output folder. It doesn't really matter, I don't know, I'll just put it on the desktop. And the blend file, let's just call it v10 underscore LFA exhaust. And now the onload contains O because that's what we put this at. And let's just copy the files. So, okay, let's create blends. Now it's done. Now let's copy the art folder we have. I'm just going to use this card because we don't really have anything else. So yeah, this is our sound. Let's just go ahead and copy that, our engine file, and let's just replace that with this. Now let's save that. So yeah, let's have a listen to how it turned out. So yeah, let's start the engine and listen. Wow, that sounds really amazing. Like, that turned out way better than I even expected. Like, wow. But yeah, that's what you can do by just sampling sounds like that. And you can get it from pretty much almost any car if you can find it. But yeah. Yeah, between 1000 and 3000 RPM sounds a little weird, but other than that, sounds pretty good. And yeah, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you also have a lot of fun making these sounds like I did. And I'll see you next time. Bye!